Hello, I'm Piaget Jenkins. Today we'll take a quick look into how to add a Microsoft AppV application as a managed app in RES Workspace Manager 2011. Workspace Manager can actively change the way in which AppV applications are invoked, which in turn allows for the integration itself. And this is done by launching a helper process from within the virtual environment of the application. This process has the ability to make various configuration changes such as registry, for example. So let's take a look at it in action. But first and foremost, you will need to make sure that the AppV client is installed on a machine that would be running the RES Workspace Manager's management console. Now, this is to ensure that we're able to retrieve the correct settings from the OSD file. Okay, so once that's taken care of, the next thing we can do is we can proceed to navigate to the Application Virtualization Integration node, and that is found in Setup, Integration, Application Virtualization. Once we're here, we're going to select Microsoft AppV. Now, the first thing we do, as always, is we're going to navigate up to the top and we're going to check Enable Microsoft AppV Integration, and we're going to hit Apply down here in the right-hand corner. Now, after that, we can choose which type of AppV client we're going to use. By default, it's set to as specified in the command line of application, so you can pretty much specify it there in the command line. Right below that, you have the option to choose sftrun.exe, which is going to provide no feedback for the user that is an AppV application. However, I believe in version 4 or higher of the client, this is no longer available. So what we do is if you choose this option, we add a switch to hide that there. Next up is the sfttray.exe, which will display the progress bar for the user. And this is what we're going to choose. So let's go ahead and click Apply there again. And you notice right below that it says Do not allow to show in the system tray of RES Workspace Manager shell. So basically, the end users won't see the application in the system tray, which could be useful for you. So we're going to go ahead and leave that checked there. Right below that, we have the option to store the patched OSD in RES Workspace Manager database. And what that does is that it stores a copy in a database and it's patched so it can be added at a different time. Right below that, we can hide the command window when launching an application. That way the users do not see that. So now that we have that all set up, let's go ahead and configure our first Microsoft AppV application as a managed application in Workspace Manager. So to create our managed application, we want to browse to Composition, Applications, and then Manage Applications. Once we're here, you want to go ahead and choose your menu that which you want to place the application. For example, we're going to choose Integration here, and we're going to click the Add button and then Application. Once we're here, the first thing we want to do is navigate to Parameters here and hit the little box on the side, and that's going to allow us to browse to our OSD file. So let's go ahead and browse to our Wink OSD file, and let's select that to add there. And as you can see, once we added that, it automatically filled in the rest of the information for you, which is pretty nice because of the AppV integration. So if we come right up here, we could change the title around. Let's go ahead and just say Wink AppV. And the description is filled in, command line is filled in as what we picked back in the settings there. And the working directory is not necessary. We have our parameters filled in. The default icon is automatically filled for you too. And right there below, you can see that it says Microsoft AppV integration will be used for this application. So that's how we're going to do that. If we come here, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to select Managed Shortcut, which will be mandatory for the desktop, so we can launch that for our user. And the last thing to do here is actually go to Access Control, and let's go ahead and place it for all users so that we can access it. And then we go ahead and we click OK. And right here is going to let you know that your setup was successful, and a modified copy of the original OSD will be stored in the Workspace Manager database. If you don't want to show that message again, there's an option to click the box there. So let's go ahead and click OK. And now the next thing to do is we're going to take a look and see how it works out in our user session. All right, so let's log in with our user. And we can see that we have our Wink AppV application. Let's go ahead and start that. We notice that it's launching Wink down there in the lower right hand corner. We can see that Wink is launched. And that pretty much does it. This has been application integration for Microsoft AppV for RES Workspace Manager 2011.